Hi, welcome in everybody. My name is Zombie. If this is your first time here, I'm a failed final girl and horror VTuber, and we are going to be talking about Crow Country. Crow Country is an isometric survival horror game by Adam and Tom Vian of SFB Games. It had a 4-ish year development and takes inspirations from iconic survival horror titles like Silent Hill, Resident Evil 1 and 2, and Parasite Eve, and I am joined today by Pongzu. Pongzu, if you would like to introduce yourself and tell everybody about the types of content that you make.
I make dumb jokes and I scream a lot. I like to play horror games. I also really like to play RPGs, but I play a variety of things. I'm a pretty chill but also chaotic kind of person and streamer.
Yeah, welcome in. Thank you for coming and deciding to talk with me about Crow Country today. When I was talking to you about doing the stream and you had suggested Crow Country, I was super excited because I love Crow Country a lot.
Yes. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm honestly so glad that you agreed with that one. I was like, yes, I get to talk about one of my favorite games.
Yes. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I was so excited because I would have done anything, but I was like, yes, I know about this one.
Mm-hmm. Like, finally, another one.
Thank you for the follow, Moonglove. But getting right into the questions, I have a list of questions, and in between each question, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the game. Feel free to interject at any point. But my first question I have for you is, how did you discover Crow Country? What was your first experience playing it?
I think I saw it actually through Twitter. I think I saw like a GIF or like a video of it or something, and I was like, "What is this? I need to know." And it was talking about a game that hadn't yet come out called Crow Country, and so I added it to my wish list, and I was like following it very closely, and then it came out, and I played it, and that's kind of the end of that story. It became one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I think on my end, I found it on Twitter. I think I found it really, really late into its PR, like its advertising phase though, because I think I discovered it like a week before it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I played it was on stream. Did you play it on stream first time or did you play it off?
I did play it on stream for the first time.
Yeah, it's a really fun stream game, I think.
Yeah, it was actually one of the first like games I ever streamed. I think it was the first horror game I streamed, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good. I think Crow Country is like a good like interlude into like streaming horror stuff. It's not super difficult by any means, so I don't think that it doesn't have like the Resident Evil 1 curse where you just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Adam Vian did the game kind of as a passion project for a little bit before they started working on it. In like 2019, 22, like I think it was like a thing that they were doing during COVID. But one of the things that Adam had said was that originally the game was going to have tank controls only, and like playtesting feedback encouraged him to kind of change that so that it but the clunky gun mechanics stuck around where you have to stop moving in order to shoot the gun. How do you feel about like retro mechanics and stuff like that, like tank controls in modern games, like when indie developers try to replicate those older types of controls?
I think I'm cool with people who want to replicate those controls. Personally, I think tank controls should die.
Oh my god, thank god that you're like on the same page as me like that, because I was like,
go away forever.
When I was writing this question, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say if she really likes tank controls, because I hate tank controls. I hate them so much.
I appreciate people wanting to like replicate like, you know, like the retro feel, but please include an option for me who has trouble with tank controls.
I totally agree. I'm at a point now where I get so frustrated with tank controls that if a game doesn't have an option to turn them off, I don't play it.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that.
I think that
I think they did a nice balancing it out with what like the clunky like gun controls, because it still feels like has that retro feel, but it doesn't feel like overwhelmingly like I cannot control the character the way I want them to go.
Yeah, like you're not trying to move forward and you go like 90 degrees diagonal into a wall. Yeah, I
Mhm.
totally agree. I like the clunky gun controls. I think that those are fun. I get super frustrated if again like with tank controls in general. I think that they hit a really nice medium because I feel like the isometric camera kind of makes it feel like the controls. Like it gives like
Mhm.
the visual effect of tank controls, I think, without actually having to suffer through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally agree. Thank God. I was really nervous. I was like, what if she really likes because I know
Like,
some
this is gonna
people
be real
love tank controls and
awkward.
I don't get
Yeah.
it. I don't get
You're
it at
like,
all.
I I really don't get it. I think it's definitely for those, like, diehard fans who enjoy it.
Yeah. Something for everybody, I guess, but it's just not for
Mhm.
me. But kind of rolling off of like the retro like control design, the art style is also very PS1, and a lot of indie developers kind of do that as like it's like cost effective. It's cheaper to do PS1 and it's easier, so you don't have to like worry about like really like high res models or anything like that. Um, I found this out while watching an interview. He actually got inspiration from Final Fantasy VII for the really simplistic like model design and like the look of they're not pre-rendered backgrounds, I don't think, but the look of pre-rendered backgrounds for Crow Country.
Mhm.
Have you ever played
Yeah,
Final Fantasy VII? I haven't.
I played, like, the first hour, and then I don't think I touched it after that. The only other Final Fantasy game I've also played, I think, was, like, 13, but then I got to a boss I couldn't beat, and I was like, "Well, that's the end of that game for me."
That's unfortunately how I play. Or I
Yeah.
think prior to streaming kind of like forces me to finish games because
Yeah.
I have like accountability for the games I abandon. But prior to streaming, I would abandon games all the time.
Yep. Yep. I'm like, "Wow, I'm finishing so many games now, this is crazy."
Yeah, it's just like, oh wow, like I actually know how this ends. Uh,
Right.
but how do you? I know that like some people are kind of exhausted with it. Some people really like it. Do you have like a stance on the PS1 style trend that's happening with like with indie games?
I really like the low poly graphics. I've always been of the, like, the high definition doesn't, like, it's cool realistically, like, when they look realistic, it looks cool. Like, I gotta admit, like, there's some stunning games that are very high definition, but I think there's also a charm and beauty to how people create games when it's lower poly, because it's also, like, more restrictive. You can't do as many things. You have to think about how things are represented with when you have, you know, so when you've restricted yourself to so little, like, shapes and points and whatnot. So I've really enjoyed it. I think also, like, alongside with, like, pixel art games as well, it's made making indie games a lot more accessible for people.
Yeah, there's like definitely not as much pressure to make a game look as photorealistic as possible anymore, which was
Yeah.
a thing for a while. I remember where it was like you have to see every pore on a character, and it's like those games don't age very well, I don't think.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
what
feel like
yours?
really
Oh,
the
go ahead.
only game that's been, like, lower res that was, like, super popular back, like, earlier was, like, Minecraft.
Yeah, I think so. Because mine, like that's just what Minecraft is. That's like
Yeah.
the whole gimmick of it. Yeah, is that it's blocky.
Mhm.
What you were saying about like the limited shapes and like what like just how limited the PS1 style is. Um the character models and like a lot of the models in Crow Country were made using what's called primitives, which I guess in like 3D model making programs is just what you said, just basic shapes like circles, half circles, cylinders and stuff like that. That's like all he had to make those models, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the style of Crow Country specifically? Because Crow Country is PS1 for sure, but it's very, I feel like it's very stylistically its own still.
I think the biggest, like, style point that I am absolutely obsessed with the game is that it is set in a theme park. There's not enough I feel like theme park horror is either so poorly done or it, like, I feel like it's not done well enough often enough. I'm someone who, like, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, so like, they have Disney, Universal, SeaWorld. So I grew up with theme parks, and I just love them for a horror setting because it's such a drastic change from what they're like advertised as. I think that's also why I like things like Five Nights at Freddy's so much because it's kind of
Mhm.
theme park-esque.
Yeah. There's like a gimmick. Like I like themed establishments a lot
Yeah,
too.
themed. Mhm.
I really like that we get to see the behind like the whatever, like the Disney tunnels like stuff. I like that Crow Country has that, and it's not just like a bunch of like props stuck up on cardboard. Like you actually get to see the tunnels that staff would walk through. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think they really the whole setting and like map is very well like interconnected, which I think is also important for this kind of game because it's kind of got that non-linear level design,
Mhm.
which I really enjoy in like survival horror games.
Yeah.
So I think the map really executes that well.
Mhm. And having the like behind the scenes staff pathways is a really good way to I think connect a non-linear like setting like this, because
Hmm.
it makes it easy to go back to places that you've already gone to without having to like risk dying 3 times to go through the
Yeah,
long way.
yeah, it's like the shortcuts and the safe rooms are like they come with the setting pretty much. They you don't have to
Yeah.
like figure out where to put them really.
Hmm. One of the things I was really scared about, because I was super excited about Crow Country when I first learned about it, I was really scared that they were going to do what you had said, where it's like they executing theme park horror like badly. Like I was so scared we were gonna get like clown enemies or something silly like that. But
Yeah.
it takes itself pretty seriously.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely like the setting is theme park, but the story doesn't necessarily like it has to do with the theme park, but also it's so much more than that.
hmm, yeah. There's like an overarching theme that I think that the theme park just kind of fits into, rather than it just being like, oh, isn't it so silly and cool that our game takes place here?
Yeah.
Uh, Crow Country got a lot of positive feedback. Like a lot of people really liked the game when it came out. But one of the consistent critiques of Crow Country was that it's too easy. And that's like one of the things that encouraged them to put in the hard mode and tweak the game a little bit. How did you feel about the
Mhm.
difficulty of Crow Country?
I definitely felt like it was on the easier side, mostly because I'm pretty bad at games, and I felt like I didn't have too difficult of a time getting through it. But at the same time, because like I don't know, it's kind of a nice little pat on the back where I'm like, oh, I got like A rank like my first try. Like
Hmm.
I feel good about myself, but I definitely like understand that people are used to that like hardcore. You need 50 notebooks and like another brain to figure out things and like how to play the game. Um,
Yeah.
so I do understand like the critique of it being too easy, but also I like it when games give you make it you can either make it extremely hard or you can make it extremely easy because that's the best way to enjoy games is playing how you want them to or how you want to.
Yeah. I so I'm really really bad at games too. Like I'm super bad at video games. And I was like going through Crow Country, like I didn't think that it was too easy, but again, like I'm probably not the best litmus test for that.
Mhm.
I liked that it wasn't so mind-numbingly difficult that there weren't any sections of Crow Country that I was like, "Oh, I got to fucking get through this."
Yeah.
I
It
think I
didn't
got
feel like ruling.
Yeah, I think I got stumped on a couple of the puzzles, but like they have the fortune teller that gives you hints and stuff. They weren't always helpful because the fortune teller hints are linear. So if you are
Yeah.
past a certain point, you can't actually use that hint. But
Mhm.
like I didn't think it was like I saw like a couple of people being like, "Oh, it's not like a survival horror because it's not difficult enough," and I was like, that seems a little harsh.
Yeah, I feel like also a lot of people equate nowadays like hard games to like before we had the hindsight and technology to make easier games and also
Yeah.
like a lot of people are very like hardcore when it comes to like Souls-like games as well. So I think it's just a lot of people have such high standards for for difficulty nowadays. I feel like, which isn't always a bad thing, but
No.
yeah,
But I think that you're right. I think a lot of people do kind of forget that the reason older games are so hard is because making games like that was kind of a new thing. So there wasn't
Mm,
that connect that just because the dev knows how to do it doesn't mean that the player does. I don't think that was there
yeah.
yet. So like no, not every game needed to be Rule of Rose or like
Oh God, no.
have you
uh
played Rule of Rose?
I've tried.
Really? I I got through that game by the skin of my teeth. I finished it.
I don't know if I could do that. That's one game where I'm like, I'll watch 1,000 playthroughs of it. I don't know if I'll ever touch it again
I think
myself.
that's the correct way to experience it. I think I'm just stubborn and I got through half of it when I'm like, well, I gotta fucking finish it now.
I mean, it's an achievement to be able to say I finished Rule of Rose.
I that game that game made me sick. I think I played that game for like 2 months trying to finish it.
Oh God.
But yeah, like not every game needs to be super, super, super difficult. And like on that note though, I think that the devs have a really good understanding of that because exploration mode was added to the game. And I know that there's a pretty big sector of video game fans that are like, I would really like to play this, but I can't play horror games. And I think that the exploration mode was made to kind of accommodate those people because it turned it from a survival horror game into just a puzzle game. What do you think
Yeah.
of like the exploration mode? Would you like it if more games added this kind of thing, or would you prefer if like the effort spent on it was spent on other aspects of the game?
I'm the kind of person that will spend hours in a photo mode, which I feel like is similar to an exploration mode where you're like, I'm just gonna hang out here and have fun. So I'm all for it. I think just personally it wouldn't be for me because I like when my horror games can take me out and just demolish me sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
I like having the threat personally. I understand when I have friends that don't like horror or get too scared to like play those kinds of games themselves. So I do think it's cool that like people that I want to share those kinds of games and stuff with can have a chance to experience them as well.
Yeah, I feel like Crow Country is like the first horror game that I've really liked that I've had like the argument of being like, "Oh, you should play this game. It's 100% worth it. There's an exploration mode so you don't have to actually fight in the end." Like that's the first time I've had that argument, so I like being able to have it so I can share it with people. I've never
Yeah.
played it though. It's not something that I
Yeah,
would
same.
personally
I
go
haven't
into.
touched it.
But I think it's nice. I think if I had found it like a few years ago before I actually ended up really liking horror because I think I would have appreciated it then. But as of now, I've never even touched it.
Yeah.
So, Crow Country is I feel like survival horror games have like a pretty like overarching survival horror games like Resident Evil or Silent Hill or anything like that, they have pretty large casts just because like the new characters get added to different games. But Crow Country as a standalone game, I feel like has a pretty like big cast. Surprisingly, because I was like listing out all the characters in prep for this, and I was like, this is like quite a few people for like a standalone survival horror game. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite character in Crow Country?
I I love Edward Crow. I know.
You like Edward Crow?
I love him so much. I
Why?
just love an evil, like he's not really evil, but I just love a tragic character. I love when somebody fucks up and like I that's I not to get into spoilers yet, but he's great. I also love Mara too, which is I feel like it's kind of cliche because like main character, hello. Um, but yeah. Also, oh god, what's the builder's name? What's his
Uh,
name?
Tolman?
I think so. I I
Yeah.
I love him too. Honestly, I it's hard to pick a favorite.
I know.
I
This is
really
like it's a
enjoy
pretty
them
good
all.
cast.
Mhm.
I'm so floored by the Edward Crow reveal.
I'm sorry. I love a horrible man. I can't, it's
No,
my
you're
it's my
I get what you mean though. He's like there is like a tragicness to his character, especially by the way, it's a interview about Crow Country. We're going to be talking about spoilers pretty candidly. So if you're not
Okay.
familiar and you want to play it, like don't watch this. But
Yeah.
um the reveal of like the notebook in his office where he was talking about camping with his dad and everything, and like the relationship he has with Natalie, because you can
Hmm.
find like her like shoes that he was gonna give her for her birthday and then he never
Yeah.
ended up doing it. Like there's
Hmm.
tragicness to Edward's character, but also fuck him.
Yeah, like he's like, what the hell, bro? What are you doing? You were making every mistake possible. You're ruining lives. Love him.
He's just like, I don't even want it. It's like, then don't do it.
He's like, I
What are
know
we
this is
doing?
fucked up, but I'm gonna keep going.
I really like Mara too. I know that you had said
Mhm.
just like, oh, this is like the main character. I think main characters in games I don't like. I think Mara's a really fun main character.
Yeah. I think also like how she presents herself to people, because later in the story you find out she's not really presenting herself as she is. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like through the dialogue especially, it really like showcases her like can do attitude, and she's like, I'm gonna get shit done and I'm not gonna let anyone stand in my way, and I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. But also she's
Yeah.
still very like, she still cares about the people even though she's pretty much lying to them, kind of.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like lying to like keep them from getting like emotionally attached to her, I guess, and to like give herself an in, so because like she's pretending to be a cop, which crime by
Hmm.
the way. But I like that Mara's like one of the few protagonists I can think of to where like she kind of like plays on gamer instinct a little bit. I think she breaks the fourth wall in that way just a little bit because her instincts to just kind of hit stuff works a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like the very beginning of the game, whenever she shoots the lock to get in, I did that as a joke because I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work," and I was floored by the fact that that's how you get in.
Yeah, I think she's definitely like a gamer. She's definitely played the Resident Evil series.
No, for sure. Like Mara in her hospital room, just like she has like a little CCTV set up with like the Resident Evil
Yeah.
games. No, I can totally see that.
Hmm.
I Tolman's super funny too. I think that Tolman and Mara have a really good dynamic where I feel like Tolman
Yeah.
and Mara are very similar. So he sees
Hmm.
like a lot of himself in Mara.
Yeah. He's
Cause
also like, I imagine he's probably one of the few people that's like on the younger end, I would say.
yeah, like him and Tolman and Harrison are probably on like the younger end, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like Arthur, Arthur Mole, who just hangs out in the car the entire game.
Arthur's just happy to be included.
I don't think he is. I think he hates being there. He's like, this sucks.
Why am I? It's like you got yourself into the mess, bro, and then you sit in the car the whole game. Like,
I really like that
honestly,
you
if I was in a horror game, I would want that spot though. Like,
did
just
like
let me
just sit
sit
in the
back in the
car.
car.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
right? I really like that you can talk to Arthur again in the game whenever she's in that control room panel like area.
Hmm.
And he's like, is it super cool? And she's like, yeah, it's really cool actually.
Yeah.
Poor Arthur. I feel so
Poor
bad for
Arthur.
him. Apparently they wanted to do more stuff with Arthur aside from him just being in the car. Like I remember I was watching an interview and they had said that there was going to be like an alternate ending with Arthur where you just get in the car with him and leave.
That would have been great.
Or another one was like they wanted Arthur to like pull a Terenzi brothers and like crash the car through the park and hit the last enemy, which I would have loved to seen.
He
That would have
just
been so
drives his
funny.
car into the pool, like.
No, literally, like he just smashes that like what Honda Civic into the back of Edward Crow's head.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. I want to pay the dev to make that ending just for me.
Just make that cutscene so I can have it.
Yeah.
I think it's like you said, it's a really good cast of characters. I think my favorite character is Harrison James. I really love Harrison. I
Yes, yeah.
Whenever he showed up for the first time, I got so excited because I was like, "That's Leon Kennedy
Showing up on a fucking bike, like
on Mara's bike." Like that
on
she
Mars.
that was my
It's honestly
favorite.
iconic.
I also love his attitude throughout the entire game because every time you talk to him, he's like, "This place fucking sucks. I can't
Yeah.
open any of these doors. Why is there a puzzle to go through every part of this theme park?"
I also just love that you find him just like lounging, like at one point.
Oh yeah, like, he's just like taking a breather. He's just like...
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do whenever I entered new areas in Crow Country was to look for that stupid pink bike because that meant he was nearby. That guy was having a bad day.
Yeah, he was having a real bad day. Car got stolen. He had to ride a bike.
Like,
Place is haunted.
Like, he never learned this, but not only did his car get stolen, his car got stolen by a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And then like she just like walked all over him in terms of like solving these puzzles faster than him. Dude was not having a good day. And then he fucking dies. That death really broke my heart. I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was distraught because I loved Harrison so much. I thought he was so funny.
He did not deserve that. He did not deserve that.
Mm-mm. Crow Country has in addition to like that really wide variety of cast members, they also have a pretty wide variety of different monster types, which I feel like, especially in indie survival horror stuff, we don't usually get. It's usually like the one type, and it's like a zombie of some kind. But like we get a lot of different ones that all behave differently. Did you have like a favorite or like a least favorite?
The big skinny man.
Dude, I hate that thing.
When you walk into that room and he's just chilling there with the horrible freaking noise, I was like nope.
The clattering noise they make. No,
yeah, they're like, oh, it's so bad.
I hate that thing so much.
Honestly, like the little like blobs that are on the ground, like those little guys that you can just like kill with one hit. Those guys aren't that bad. They mostly just like get in the way.
I would always lose track of them, especially if the room was dark. I would step on them all the time.
Yeah, they're ankle biters.
They are. They suck. I hate the skeleton guy, or like the big spindly dude, but he's not really that hard to avoid. The things that I hate the most were like the ones that look like kids that run at you.
Oh, the little freaking babies!
Yeah, I hate the babies.
Dude, I hate the babies too. When I first played the game and they're like sitting in the audience, I tried to shoot one and it just like didn't work until he got up. And like I was like, oh, it's fine. Like he's sitting there. And then I got closer and he's like, ah! And I'm like,
no, and they rush you, and I'm like, whoa!
Right?
Because at first, like, it's hard to tell if they're dead or not whenever you first approach them, and then they start moving. I'm like, stop.
Yeah. Because they're just like completely still, and then they just charge at you.
Yeah. Are there secret bosses in Crow Country? I feel like there are, right?
There's 3. There's 3 like mini bosses you could fight.
Can you tell me about them?
I think you interact with all of them. I think you interact technically with all of them. It's just a matter of like you can get away without killing them, I believe, because there's the guy that's in the graveyard that pops out. There's a second one, but I can't remember where he is. But I know like I think the last one is in that like code room where in Edward Crow's office. That like pops out and you have to do the code while he's like chasing you down in the tiny ass room.
That puzzle sucked.
Yeah, I hated that puzzle. Yeah, that last puzzle sucked.
Yeah.
And then there's another one, but I can't think of it right now. I don't remember which one it is. But there's 3. I remember.
Yeah. Did you ever solve the puzzle in like the mushroom area? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the king and he's like talking about all the different mushroom types and which ones are
Yes.
what happens when you solve that?
Um, I don't remember. I think you get a little mushroom boy. I think a little
Mushroom boy.
mushroom boy pops out and he gives you an upgrade for something. For what? I don't remember.
Is that where you get the flamethrower? Because like I know that there's another little mushroom boy that pops up in the Halloween area.
I'm not sure.
I never solved it. I got frustrated and gave up.
That was the one I didn't solve, and then I went back to it and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna eat all of them, and apparently that was
That's
the solution.
yeah, I don't imagine that went well.
No, I
Did,
think it was the solution, is just eat them all.
really? Is it?
Yeah.
But some of them were poison. Whatever. Fuck ass game.
Yeah, I think it's like, oh, you have to heal yourself to solve it pretty much. Because I think to get like the
Oh.
the like S plus rank, you can only use 3 heals, so you have to use them in that room and nowhere else, which is why S plus rank is so hard to get.
That sucks. That sucks so bad, dude. That's so funny. Of all of the areas in Crow Country, like all of the different like areas of the theme park, which one was your favorite?
Hmm. I mean, like I'm partial to the like spooky haunted area because like hello, it's spooky and haunted, of course I enjoy it. I also really like the like water undersea area a lot. I love the safe room is the little submarine ride.
Yeah, that's cute. I like the submarine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't feel like anyone's surprised by me saying that the Halloween area is my favorite. But
Yeah.
if I had to pick a second favorite, I think it would be the it would probably be the I like the fairy tale town a lot. There's not a lot to do in it, but
Yeah.
aesthetically I like it.
Yeah.
And thank you for the follow, 8-bit archaeologist. But I think I got the most frustrated in the underwater area. And I kept thinking to myself of like, of course it's a fucking water level that I'm getting upset with. It's always a water level.
It's always the water.
I think the thing that got me the most about it is because that's where that like really big enemy is. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Which one again? Oh, the big like hulking guys.
Yeah, like the Mr. X
Yeah.
guy. Like that guy sucks.
Hmm.
Like I think I
I would
died to him a
always
few
just blow him
times.
up. That guy got every grenade I had.
I have really bad aim, so I would never have ammo by the time I was at that point.
That's fair. I found that in Crow Country, the best way to aim is to run away. But also, like, you do more damage the closer you are, so it makes you
Mm-hmm.
want to take that risk to, like,
Yeah.
just get it down. Where, like, even though it's getting closer to you, we're like, well, maybe this bullet will get him.
Yeah, and thankfully Crow Country is like pretty they're pretty generous with ammo sometimes, but it does also suck whenever you kick the vending machine and it gives you like what it gives you nothing sometimes or it gives you like a health item. It's
Yeah.
like no, that's not what I need.
Searching through the trash and you find trash and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's like a banana peel. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
I like that it's kind of random though. I like that you always have the chance of getting something because something I get really frustrated with in Silent or I guess in Silent Hill. I was thinking about Silent Hill when I was, but just in survival horror games in general
Hmm.
is that you feel like at the very beginning they give you so much, and then by the time that you actually need them, you're like, there's just none. And like drawers
Yeah.
are empty and you just can't find anything. But Crow Country never has that problem, I don't think.
I didn't feel that way either. Like I've gotten myself like soft locked in Resident Evil 4, like the original one, because
Really?
I've played that one a lot. Um and I like at one time I just got soft locked because I literally had like one bullet and I was about to do the freaking boss fight with oh my god, I can't think of his name. The guy, I think, is it Klaus?
I don't remember
Uh,
either. All I'm thinking about is X, and that's Resident Evil 2. shooting his little stupid hat off.
I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
oh,
been oh,
Krauser,
Krauser.
Jack Krauser. Yeah,
Okay, that
the
makes
boss
sense.
fight with him. I had like a bullet left right before that boss fight. I was like, I don't think I could do this, and I had already like saved over, and I was like, well, guess I'll stop this playthrough here.
I've almost soft locked myself in Resident Evil 2 right before like the final fight. And
hmm
I had to do that so many times to make what I had work.
Yeah,
I think I
sometimes you
redid
just
it
gotta, yeah.
yeah. I think I redid it so many times that like on certain run throughs, I would forget to bring stuff that I needed because I was doing it over and over. So like on one, I think there's like one run through where I don't bring a gun at all, and I got so
Yeah.
mad.
I really raged at The Evil Within, cuz that's another one of those survival horror games that's extremely light on giving you things, even if you're playing normal difficulty, by the way. I have
Like
beef with, as much
evil
as I love that game, I have beef with that game, The Evil
Evil Dead
Within.
devs, I know you're listening. Fix your shit.
But yeah, like I have beef. I love that game, but also I have beef with it because of how difficult some of the parts were because of how little I had.
I've never played Evil Dead. I was considering getting it.
The Evil Within. The Evil Within.
Oh, Evil Within. Evil Dead's a movie. What the fuck am I talking about?
Close enough. Close enough.
My
A lot of
wires
evils.
crossed.
Evil somethings.
Yeah, that's a pretty like lowball like horror titling thing is right. Like
Yeah.
the evil fill in the blank.
Yep.
It's not my fault. Um, one of the overarching themes of Crow Country is that it's supposed to be kind of a story about being born at like just the right time to see the world fall apart because big spoilers here. Um Crow Country is sci-fi horror technically because what you're seeing coming into the park are people that are coming in from the future, and because of the damage that Edward Crow has done to their time machine by harvesting gold from it, it's changing their biology, I guess is a good way to put it, and
Mhm.
making them come in different. And
Yeah.
one of the, I guess, like the overarching things of that is like that's supposed to be a little bit representative of climate change and just like because like Mara is the age she is, she's just seeing the beginnings of it all happen the same way that like people
Yeah.
our generation are. Did you have any like as you were playing, did you have any particular thoughts on like I guess that overarching did you pick up on it like as you were playing through, or is that something that kind of came
I
together at the end?
I definitely it didn't really quite come together until the end because I was so focused on the first four numbers that you find and you're like, "Oh, this is a code for something," but none of the codes have a zero in it. So I was
Yeah.
just focused on that the whole time cuz I was like, "Okay, eventually I'm going to find something with a zero and then I'm going to know that the code is for that." And then like at the end when it's revealed, that's not a code, that's the year the world is going to shit.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, a lot of things make sense now, especially like how at the every time you save, there's the line, maybe things will be okay, or maybe they won't.
Yeah.
Like that sort of line, I think. And then they say that line again at the end of the game where it's like, yeah, everybody is saved, but like we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Things might not be okay in the future, but like you just gotta keep going. So
Yeah.
I think it definitely didn't come together for me until the end, but like replaying the game with that knowledge in mind definitely like makes a lot of things more prominent for sure.
Mhm. I I was very similarly very focused on that code because that's what I thought it was too. It was like a code to something, but I was like, there's no
I think
zero on
that's
any
so
of these pads.
genius.
No, it's
It's
super
so
smart
genius.
because like it makes sure that that number is in your brain the entire time, even though you don't know what it's for.
And it's like if you've played horror games before, it's just ingrained in you where you see a number, you're like, I gotta remember that number. That's gonna be a code or lead me solve a puzzle or something, and
Yeah, like
then
this is gonna be
it solves
important.
a puzzle, but it's not the kind you're expecting.
Yeah, like it doesn't give you a gun, it gives you the apocalypse. Have fun.
Yeah.
And what do you think that so at the end of the game, Edward Crow goes through the portal to see what it looks like on the other side. There it is kind of left up in the air exactly what he saw because he couldn't communicate it back to Mara when he came back through. Do you have any theories
Mhm.
on what you think Edward saw?
I mean, as far as we kind of know, is that it was definitely bad enough to where they felt like they needed to go back in time to warn people, and then of course Edward Crowe completely fucks that up for everybody to get for that. Um, so it's definitely like gotta be some disastrous apocalyptic thing. But I'm also one of those people that kind of likes to keep those things up in the air. I'm
Mhm.
not too much of like a theorizer unless it's like my show ended sad and I need to make myself happy again, so I just pretend everything's okay. But I feel like the open-endedness of like what did they see and also like, what's going to happen to the world after the game. I feel like you kind of just have to leave that open-ended because it's a little too real right now with our actual world. So it's kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to dwell on the ending or the meaning of what this game is because I have to do that in real life.
Yeah. Did you read the note on your first playthrough?
Which one?
The one that
The
Edward gives you that basically tells you what's going on.
Yes, I believe I did, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh.
I I finished Crow Country for the first time and then I played through and it ended and I thought that's just how it ended was that you don't get to know. Like I thought the ending was that there was no confirmation and I thought that that was really cool. I was like, "Oh, it's just like oh, we don't get to know." It's like a it's like a Black Christmas thing where it's just like you don't get closure. But no, the game
Mhm.
does tell you. I'm just stupid and I missed it.
There's definitely a lot of plot and things that are within the notes, which I love when games do that. I know I'm a reader at heart, so I love reading lore and like little tidbits in games. And the fact that they compile them all for you is really helpful.
Yeah.
Like once you like discover a tip or like a note that helps you solve a puzzle, it just like goes into the notebook and you can just reference it whenever you want. Um,
Yeah.
so anytime I got a piece of paper or anything I could examine, I was on that shit.
No, I was fully under the impression that like Mara reads the note, but you, the player, don't get to, and I don't know why I had that assumption. But I kind of like those types of endings, so I just wasn't mad about it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that was the ending for that playthrough.
yeah, like I was streaming it too. Like people were like, "Well, we don't get it," and I was like, "Nope," like just wrong. I think I think it does have that kind of there's like a sort of upliftingness to Crow Country though, because
Yes.
because of the time travel nature of it, Mara could have changed the way things play out in the future. It's just she won't know till she
Mhm.
gets there. And there is that like that's kind of nice because it like gives you that sense of like you can change things now, but if you decide not to do anything, things certainly won't change.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, I
uplifting in that
think
weird way.
I definitely do. I think that just like that ending scene of them all just like hanging out on the car drinking the antidote is just like permanently in my brain because I don't know, that just it's just such a good like ending to a horror game where it's like you don't know what's coming next, but everything's okay now. After like what we've just been through, we're okay right now. And like that's what's important. So
Yeah.
I think it also helps uh promote the idea of like treasure the moments where things are okay because before and after might not be great. So but yeah, I definitely think it's like it's bittersweet for sure. Bittersweet.
Yeah, it's definitely a life goes on type of moment.
Hmm.
I was a little bit sad that and not sad as in like I wish that were different. I think it's good for like storytelling purposes, but it did make me sad that Natalie didn't end up actually getting to say goodbye to her dad.
Yeah, it the fact that they don't get to see each other for one last time definitely is like another heartbreaking thing where it's like I bet like she's still got a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm
Hmm.
sure Mara might have answers to some of those questions, but like I mean Mara really just gets that one conversation with him, but then he's like, peace.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going into hell, by the way. Bye."
Yeah, it's like you didn't wait like 5 minutes. Let me get your daughter in here real quick. Like,
It's like before he tips over the chair, it's like, "Wait,
wait, hold on.
15 minutes. I'll be fast."
Yeah.
But I think that Edward Crowe is like a really good example of like an estranged parent because he doesn't resent his daughter or like he loves his daughter a lot. It's just that also he's not present. So
Hmm.
and she like wants that closure and he's just not willing to give it to her. So it's like he doesn't hate her and he loves her, but it's still kind of like it's still fucked up of him.
Yeah. And also he's got that dead wife thing going on as well.
I forgot about the dead wife thing. Yeah, he is like a dead
It's
wife
not very
villain.
prominent. It's not very
No.
prominent. And then you just find a gold statue of her and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, like they don't bring up the mom at all, and then you see Natalie like looking up at the statue, and you're like, "Oh, that's cool." And she's like, "It's my dead mother." And you're like, "Whoa, sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I should have assumed that she wasn't around because
Yeah.
I haven't heard about her." But
Yeah.
yikes, his
Yeah, I
entire
kind of
office is
wish
so
we
weird.
learned more about Natalie and her mom as well. And but
Yeah,
also like the focus was on the theme park and what how Edward Crowe was involved, and neither of them really were, other than
yeah,
like yeah.
I think that's a good like, I think that's a good storytelling, like environmental storytelling piece that he wasn't very involved in them. Otherwise, they would be present more in the story. Poor Natalie. She goes through it though, because she ultimately does all of this kind of for nothing.
Yeah.
Like she
Well, it's
she
also
goes.
like she sent the cop there, but then went there anyways, like by herself.
Yeah, I don't know why she was there. To be
It's like,
honest.
did you think he wasn't gonna do enough good enough job? Like, I get it. Harrison doesn't seem like much at first, but I'm sure he could have. He was figuring it out.
Like he's just gotta give him some extra time. He'll figure it out. I
He
promise.
had his car stolen. Give him
Yeah,
a
like he
break.
has tires slashed by a 17-year-old. Just give him
Yeah.
like 30 extra minutes. He'll be there.
Yeah.
I loved another thing I really liked about Harrison was he was not a scary aspect of the game at all. But seeing the bike, you were like, I'm gonna get yelled at.
Yeah.
Because he's like, why are you
You're like,
still here?
like, hey, how's it going?
I haven't left yet.
But I also feel like he's kind of like, even though he tells you to like leave, I think it's also kind of like almost like a like older sibling type of
Yeah, for sure.
relationship where he's like, I know you're probably not gonna do what I want you to do, but this is I have to say this as the adult in this situation.
Yeah. It's just like you gotta get out of here. I know you're not gonna. I also like how much Mara antagonizes him. She's like, I couldn't figure it out. And he's like, shut up. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it's hard.
But what did you think of the reveal of Mara being Elaine? Is that something that you were able to figure out like right away or like midway through the story? Or did you not know until like it happened?
Oh, I'm completely oblivious when it comes to twists. That's why I think I get like so scared and surprised by things in games. Um, so I totally didn't see it coming. I like I didn't know, and then I when you go into the basement and you can shower, like you can rinse out your hair, and her hair color comes out. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I think that I kind of figured it out. Like right when you see the picture of Elaine, like that Polaroid you get from the fairy tale area. I think I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that kind of looks like Mara, and I think that's where I was like, oh, that's yeah, okay,
I think I was tricked by the like, oh, well, they're all just polygons, so they're all gonna look
yeah,
a little similar.
Yeah, I didn't put much faith in the theory at that point, but then like we kept hearing about this girl, and I was like, that's Mara. Somebody's
Yeah,
lying.
I think I just assumed she like Elaine died already,
Oh, like she was
honestly.
already dead. Yeah.
I was like, this girl's probably dead. Like she got bitten by some whack things, and I've seen how everybody else is around here. It's not looking good for her.
I had been thrown off of the idea that it was Mara for a little bit, like towards the middle, because Julie is Elaine, like Julie is her lawyer, but she didn't recognize her. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe not. But I guess this Julie
Mm.
hasn't met. That's a weird thing for a lawyer not to have met the key person in a case they're representing. But whatever, I
Yeah, like
guess.
I really don't. I'm not an expert on anything with the law, but I imagine it probably has something to do with like her like being like a minor when like everything was happening. So like maybe she was more in communication with her parents than her
Yeah,
herself.
maybe.
But you would have think that they would have met. But also she had purple hair, and that like completely changed the person, obviously.
Yeah, it's just like, huh? You kind of look like no. She don't got purple hair though.
Yeah, I would remember the purple.
You know what? Genuinely, though, that's kind like I know we're making fun of it a little bit. When would Mara have had time to go buy purple box dye if she's supposed to be in the hospital, though? That's kind of a
Right?
valid
Like
point on Julie's part.
yeah, like she I don't know how she like got things together. I don't know how she had accessed like found the police report or like found the information to
Yeah,
like go where she
right.
needed to go and like be kind of undercover. But like props to you because
Yeah,
you
like good
apparently
job.
spent most of your time in the hospital. So like props to that.
I mean, she also like that's how she got herself into the situation in the first place. Was she accidentally like found that room?
Yeah, she's like getting into shit already.
I think
She
the
like found
yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
She just like found that room and like a cage and was like, "This seems cool."
Yeah, I think that room was the confirming point for me where I was like, this is Elaine because she already knew where the key was.
True. Yeah.
So I
I
was
didn't
like,
even think about
okay.
that.
I was like, all right, weirdo.
You're like, sure. Sure, Mara.
Right.
Mara.
Mara Forrest. Okay. I think that's so funny though. And it makes a lot of sense, that reveal, because that's why like everybody's being like, you're a cop. And she's like, because at first I thought she was just being defensive because she was short, but I was just like, no, you're 17 and you look like a 17
Yeah.
year old.
I think like the birth date that's like on her ID that ends up being like not her ID.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think her like birth like the month and the day was really close to my own. So I was like, "Oh, we have the same like birthday almost." And so I think I kind of like what's the word? Kind of self-inserted myself with Mara, where I was
Oh,
like, she's
okay.
like me, and so people are like, you look so young. I'm like, oh, people say that to me sometimes, and I'm me.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's like people, there are often times where people look younger than they do.
Mhm.
I think like
Yeah, I
there's like a
love.
few things like that happen.
Mhm. Yeah, I love an unreliable narrator, but I sure ain't aware of when it's happening.
No. I think that I'm like so like cuz I play a lot of D&D and I consume a lot of like that type of material where it's like all puzzle solving and all like twists and secret identities. So I've been just conditioned to pick up on that stuff type like easier, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Cuz I don't know that I would have been able I don't know that it would have come to me like so quickly either otherwise.
Hmm.
One of the last things that I have is Adam Beyond stated that the next project that they're working on is not Crow Country related. It's in addition to their series Tangled Tower. I think it's called The Mermaid Mask or something along those lines. It's like a mystery noir type of game.
Hmm.
If you like in the future though, I believe that they do want to continue doing like 3D horror stuff. Would you want another addition to Crow Country or would you want their next title to be original?
Honestly, that would wholly depend on what they're wanting to do with a sequel because there's definitely like things that come out where I'm like, it would be great to have more of this, but if the more of this I'm gonna get is bad, then I don't want it.
Mhm.
Type of thing. So it's like I would love to see them take a stab at doing something with Crow Country again. Uh but also, I don't know, I kind of feel like the story with Crow Country is kind of like done case closed. Like I kind of just like its little contained thing. So I'm not really sure like what else they would do with it or if they just like do something completely different but set in the same universe or something. Um but honest just any horror game that they would make again, I would love to play.
Yeah, I do definitely want to see more of their horror stuff. I think that's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited that they're going to kind of like stay within like the PS1 type of style because I really love the way that Country characters look. They look like they kind of look like ball jointed dolls to me, which I find very charming.
Yes, yeah.
Um, I
Kinda like Lego
do.
figures
Oh
almost.
yeah, like they are kind of like little Legos. The entire look of Crow Country kind of looks like a dollhouse to me almost.
Mhm. Especially with the camera angle, I think
Dude, I
helps for that.
love the isometric camera. I think that's so cool. I'm so
Yeah,
excited that other games are starting to do that.
do.
Like Scarlet Lake has a demo that's out that has like really similar gun mechanics to Crow Country and it's also isometric and I'm so excited for that game to come out.
Ooh, yeah.
But I I don't usually feel this way about games where I'm usually very similar to you where I'm like open and close it's done. I do kind of want a Crow Country sequel. I think it'd be really fun. It would be or like a DLC or something like that.
Mhm.
I think it would be fun to have a protagonist that's set in the apocalyptic future. I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Also, I think it would be interesting to like if they did have a DLC, maybe they could make it that like area of the park that never got built.
Oh, that's right. The sci-fi area.
That like
You're
future
totally right.
sci-fi. Yeah.
Like
I think that would be cool.
sometime in the future, like Natalie like gets and cleans the park back up and opens it up and like other stuff starts happening. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I do kind of like I think it's just because I like Crow Country so much. I do kind of want Crow Country to get the Resident Evil treatment where they get a bunch of games. I think that would be so fun for them. But
Yes.
I also understand that when you're doing a project like this, you are looking at it for so long that you get sick of it. So if they wanted to do
Yeah.
something besides Crow Country for a while, I get it.
Mhm. Yeah, like one of my favorite games of all time now is Baldur's Gate 3. And I know
Mm.
that a lot of people were like, "We want Baldur's Gate 4. We want Baldur's Gate 4." And like they were like, "No, we're not going to do a Baldur's Gate 4. We're going to work on something different." Um I just really admire when like game studios do that. I think I'm just a little jaded by all the like sequels of things nowadays.
Mhm.
Um so it's like in an ideal world, 100% I would love another Crow Country game. I would love to play in that universe again. I mean, I replay the game to be in that universe, so having another
Mhm.
game to mess around with would be amazing.
Yeah. I do get what you're saying too. I do like it, especially cuz SFB is such a small company. It's like two brothers and they kind
Mhm.
of do everything. Like
Yeah.
I get and appreciate them just doing the projects that they want to do. Because if not, they're gonna get burnt out, and that's how you get bad games. And I would never want that for Crow
Yeah.
Country. I love Crow Country a lot, but that is the last question that I have for you. Do you have any questions for me? Or if anybody who is in the audience has a question, you are free to use the Ask a Question redeem to ask something if you have something that we didn't talk about.
I have a question. What is your favorite and least favorite puzzle?
Oh, that's a good one. My favorite puzzle is probably In there, okay, so both of my answers are in the scary area, like the Halloween area.
Okay.
So my favorite puzzle is the clock puzzle where you have to shift the tombstones to like look in certain directions. I like that one a lot because
Mhm.
it has that like false sense of like urgency because I don't think there's an actual timer, but you feel like you're being timed because you can hear the clock and the
Yeah.
shotgun is pointing at you.
Mhm.
I was so mad when it was plastic though. I thought that's how you
I was
got the
like, finally
shotgun.
my shotgun, and then it was like, nope.
It was fucking plastic. So that one's really good. I think that the underwater one where you actually get the shotgun is also really good.
Mhm.
I think my least favorite puzzle is the maze
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
because it also has that sense of urgency, but things are actually coming after you, and like it's super easy to mess up and get lost.
Mhm.
And navigation is one of the things in games where I struggle the most.
Yes, same. I'm like, if I don't have a map, I'm not gonna.
Dude,
I
if I
don't
don't
know
have a
where I
map,
am.
I'm fucked.
Yes, yeah.
I
Just freaking blind me because I'm gonna go in this do have the same directional sense.
I'm gonna say, have I been here before 50,000 times?
Yeah.
And I'm checking the map every 2 feet I take, like every 2 steps I take, and I'm still getting lost.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. What is flip that question on you? What is your favorite and least favorite
My
puzzle?
favorite is or the one that I think of right off the top of my head is the one in the like scary area where all like the cages are with like the different like mythological monsters, and you have to like
Oh
put
yeah.
in the like numbers like depend or like say how many limbs they have. I thought that was a really creative one, and I had fun with that one, especially because like the whole time I'm like, I gotta find this drive disc to unlock this puzzle. So I was like really excited when I finally got the drive disc. That's like towards the end, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
um I think my least favorite one is probably the like, you could even, I don't even know if you could really call it a puzzle, but like the mermaids on the ride one where you have to like
Oh, I
press the button
forgot
to
about
go
that.
forward.
You know what?
It's
That
just
might
like
actually be my
so
least favorite.
whatever.
I
I
don't think
was
I
just
like
like,
that
I'm
one.
just like, I guess we're doing this like whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that sucked. I hated that a lot.
Hmm.
Thank you for the follow, Titan Gamings. But I think that entire, I think that was the one puzzle where I got stuck really bad because I didn't know where Julie was, and you need her for that puzzle. Yeah, I think I changed my
Hmm.
answer. I think I hate the entirety of the mermaid boat thing.
Yeah, I yeah, agree. Hard agree.
And also, if you don't have ammo, you can't do that puzzle.
Yeah, it like makes it so much harder because it's like you have because I know like if you have the crowbar you can hit them, but you have to bring them all the way like towards you to like smack them.
Yeah. No, you're right. That one sucks. That one sucks bad. But
I
I did.
also really
Oh,
like
go ahead.
that a lot of the puzzle items you can use them for like they have multiple purposes. Like the crank, you can open the door with it, but also like you use it for the clock puzzle as well. So
Yeah. I think that. I think finding the crank was a little bit difficult for me because you get that from the resin, right? On the chain. Is that where you get the
I believe
crank? What do you get from the resin? I don't
no.
remember. No, the resin has
The
the orb? No. Yes? What the hell do
I
you
have
get
no
from the
idea about
resin?
anything. There's so many. I don't
You
remember. Where do you get the crank?
I don't remember.
Because it's not. Is it from the bird, the swan boats? Is it from that?
Maybe?
No, that's where you get the chain. That's where you get the chain. I know
You
you find the crank somewhere, but
Yeah,
I
you
can't
need
think
the
of it
crank
either.
in order to get the thing out of the resin, whatever you get from there. I think you get the orb from the resin, but I don't remember. I could
Yeah,
not play this game right now and finish it.
the like crystal or whatever that you have to melt or whatnot with the acid. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Where the crank comes from, though, that's like one of the first items you get, so that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think Dude, I could play this game right now. I played it twice. I could play it right now and still get lost.
Oh yeah, same.
Just no object permanence, nothing sticks in this head of mine.
Hmm. That's
But
why I have a notebook, literally just like write things down for when I'm when I'm streaming. I don't forget them, whether it's for the game or whether it's like something I'm like, oh, I should do this, and I think of it during stream. I'm like, write it down, or else it's gone forever.
I'm so prideful. I won't. I can't. I don't do the notebook thing. I probably should, but I'm so prideful that I'm like, I'll remember, and then I get there and I'm like,
Yeah, if my thoughts are not in physical form, they die to the void. So I
yeah,
have
same
to-
for sure, absolutely.